Hello, welcome, namaste. Thank you for coming. This is a chair yoga class where we begin and end seated, but in between we'll do standing poses, including a couple of balance poses, using the back of the chair for support. So you'll need a wooden chair or a folding chair that doesn't have arms. If that's not an option, you could always sit on a bench or a couch. If you are like me and when my foot is on the ground, my knee is not level with my hip, you'll need to get something to raise your feet off the ground, because we want the hips in line with the knees, or the knees in line with the hips. If you don't have yoga blocks, two big pillows like this might work. Works for me. You could use books or plastic shoe boxes. You will need one big pillow like this for the very end of class, and you will need one blanket or couch throw for the end of class. So take a minute and collect what you need, please, and then meet me back here. Welcome back. So now we're going to start seated at the edge of the chair. You may want to put your big pillow behind you for support if you don't need it under your feet. You want your legs, straight out from the hips, hip width, and you want your hands on the thighs, pulling them back so that the elbows can rest down comfortably. Feet are firm on the blocks and lifting out of your hips. Your spine is tall, shoulders are relaxed, chin is level to the ground. Softly close the eyes and take a big inhale through the nose and a big exhale out the mouth. Inhale and an exhale. And last one, breath in and let it go. And bring the hands to the low belly right below the ribs. And breathing through the nose only, see if you can fill the belly on the inhale and let it recede on the exhale. Release any muscular engagement so that you can really feel the breath moving fully into the belly and then out. One more like this. The yogic belly breath. Now take your hands onto your ribs, your low ribs. And on the inhale, breathe wide. Feel the hands move away from each other. On the exhale, fingers come closer together. Inhale, expand. Exhale, recede. Shoulders stay relaxed. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And now take the hands to your collarbones. You may want them side by side. I prefer them one on top of the other. Sitting tall. Take an inhale, fill into that upper chest. Exhale out. And again, inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Great. Now the hands can either go back down to your thighs, pulling the hands in towards your torso, or you can choose belly, ribs, or chest. And this time, with the eyes closed, as you inhale, fill into the belly expand out of the ribs, lift through the chest. So feel the breath in all three places. Inhaling and exhaling. And as you're breathing, notice how your feet feel connected to the ground. Notice how your body is connected to the chair. Notice where your hands are touching your body. Notice the air on your skin. All an act of becoming present. One more deep round of that full body breath. And then release the arms. Breathing up, palms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So I cue the breath as we move, nostril breathing only. But if it's too awkward, too new, too cumbersome, don't worry about it. Just do the exercises. And then let the hands drop down and take a big breath in and circle around behind you. Another breath in and behind. Your behind might look different than mine. You might be going more out to the side. And then pause and exhale, take it down, back and around. So we're working through the pain with pain-free. If you feel any sharp pains, back off. If you feel a stretch, yay. But it shouldn't be horribly uncomfortable. It should not be painful. And then inhale the arms up again. Exhale to this cactus arms. Take a breath here. Exhale, pull the navel to the spine, round it all in. That's a seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift. So I'll turn sideways so you can see. Inhale, rounding through the upper back, concaving the belly. And then inhale, lift the chest open. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Exhale in. And inhale, lift. Great. And coming back down. One more time. Take the arms up. And from here, you're going to hold it. Let your right arm drop to the chair and stretch over to the right with your left arm. So keep this shoulder forward. You don't want to twist here. We're going to keep our body flat to the front of the room. Stretches here. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then this time, take your hand to the opposite, right hand to the left thigh. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, stretch. Inhale up. And switch. And exhale over. And coming up. Turn to your right. And take your hands to the back. And just, you're using the chair to help you gently twist. Get tall as you move more through the thoracic spine, your upper back, your neck. And then come back to center. Take it over here. Hands behind you, lift tall, and come around. Keep the shoulders down and level. And then back to sort of help your body center itself. Feet are wide, hands are on your thighs. Take a breath in, get nice and tall. Come forward, hinging at the hips. So we're keeping a flat back. Spinal issues of any type, you've been told not to twist or bend. You want to stay right here, or round the back, I should say. Stay right here. If you're okay with rounding the back, let the belly drop and then the head all the way down. I think that goes without saying. If a doctor has told you not to do any particular movement that I do, definitely honor the doctor. Okay. One last thing, just a little neck rotation here. Drop the chin to the chest. Inhale up to the right, as if you're drawing a circle the size of a small dinner plate. Shoulders are down and back. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Pausing at the bottom. And then take that to the left. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And last time, inhaling up and exhaling down. Great. Okay, we will stand up here. You can move the blocks out of the way and take your chair to the right side of the mat. And we'll step back quite a few feet, 2.5, 3 feet. Hands are on the top of the chair. If you have any wrist issues, you may want to hold on down here. And what we're trying to do here is the feet are hip width apart, the toes are facing straight forward, as are the knees. You take a breath here, and as you lift through the hips, and it's better for me up here, you'll let the body and the head come between your arms and stop there. Reach through the crown of the head and breathe. Maybe a little toning of the navel, a little lift of the pelvic floor, your navel to the spine, so you're strong through the core. This is our modified downward facing dog. Keep breathing here. And then walk your way up. And step your left foot long on the mat. So a nice wide step. So your feet are wider than your hips now. Your left foot will stay parallel to the back of the mat. And you're going to turn the toes to face towards the chair, straight towards the chair. And then we will bend into that front knee. Front knee is tracking between the second and the third toe, and that front knee is over the ankle. You don't want to have this knee way out in front of the ankle. It's too much stress on the knee. So if you feel like going deeper and that's happening, move the back foot. So our body is you're facing your screen, I'm facing you, and our back arm extends out from the shoulder. Take a breath here and maybe bend a little bit more. Now press down and out through your feet. And as you do that, feel the muscles come alive. So there's this external rotation of this front thigh. So it's going out. Your back pinky toe side of the foot is really pressing into the mat. And as that happens, there's a lift through this inner thigh. Reach maybe your front arm forward, and possibly you can turn your gaze to look over the middle finger. Notice what's happening in the shoulders. See if you can release them down, lengthen through the arms, down and out through the legs. Tailbone is headed towards the mat, down. Great, take another breath here. And keeping that front knee bent, drop your left hand down, flip the palm of the right hand and lift it for a reverse warrior. So keep reaching down the back leg, lift through the pelvic floor, navel in, strong through the core. If it's too much, you can keep your hand on the chair. Notice if your left shoulder is coming forward and pull that back. So there's opening through the chest. And then come back up through your warrior two. And hands come to your chair. Lift the back heel and you're going to come around up onto the toes. Heel is right over the toes. And it's like you're on railroad tracks here. My feet are hip width apart. They are not in line with each other. You can bend a little bit more into that front leg. Keep lifting that back heel. So it's a really big stretch here through the hip flexors. And there's a lot of strength going on in your right leg as well. On your breath in, lift your left arm up. On the exhale, get a little bit lower. Maybe you can lift both arms up, maybe not. Keep squeezing the legs inward. Keep pressing the feet down and out. So there's a lot of life in your legs right now. All right, so coming up, step that foot in and then move everything back a little bit. So this is a shorter stance. We're going into a pyramid pose. And in a pyramid pose, I'm going to do it with my feet slightly apart. This is an open hip. When this is a squared hip and this is an open hip. We want a squared hip in a pyramid pose. So to do that, you're pulling your right hip back and you're dropping your left hip forward. Feet are down and pressing away from each other, okay? So here's your feet. Hands are on the chair. Take a breath here. And on an exhale, start to come forward. Keep dropping that left hip forward, pulling that right hip back. Reaching through the crown of the head. You may need to move your arms if the chair is a little bit too close. Keep that back straight. Keep the core strong, your belly is strong. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And step your feet together. Take a breath in, reach. And an exhale, hands to the heart. Taking your chair to the other side. We will do feet together and then stepping wide, going into warrior two. So our feet are wide. If you like to really bend your knee deep in a warrior two, you want to take a pretty wide step. If you're newer to this, your step is probably not going to be quite as wide. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Pick up the toes, pivot on that heel, drop the toes, and bend into that knee. And look at it. Is my knee, you don't want this. You don't want a knee coming in like that or even way out like that. You want the knee straight on, okay? And you want the knee lined up over the ankle. Okay, press the feet down and out. Everything, all the muscles become engaged on the legs. Pinky toe side pressing down. External rotation here, lifting of that back thigh. Reach your back arm level with the shoulder. And then you can look towards your left, leaving the hand down, or if you're up to it, lift the hand, little tuck of the tailbone. Relax through the shoulders. Great. Okay, hands come to the chair. And you're going to pop up onto that back toe. Heel is up. bending into that front knee. And a little lift here, so you really feel the stretch. And then your opposite hand, your right hand will come up. Your left leg is forward, your right arm is up. Or maybe they both come up. And dropping them down, stepping forward, and then stepping everything back a little bit for our pyramid pose. So feet can be a little bit further apart. They can be in heel to heel alignment or a little bit further apart so that you feel more grounded, more stable. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Take the arms up, and a little different than last time. Take them to the chair. Keep pulling that left hip back, right hip forward, and start to come forward. Keep reaching through the crown of the head. Keep lifting through the belly. Legs are down and apart. Your breath is smooth and even. And then inhale, coming up. Good. Shake out the legs, shake them out. Maybe take a little twist here. Let the knees follow you or follow your twist. All right, left hand on the chair, left foot firmly planted. This is a weak leg. You want a strong leg. You want to feel this lifting here. You want to take the sole of your right foot, this external rotation at the hip, the foot goes into your lower leg or above the knee. It can even, if you're newer to the practice, it can even be resting on something. You've got a hand on a chair though. If your foot is pressing into your leg, really press it into the leg and press the leg back into the foot. Then lift through this pelvic floor. Imagine you're wearing this corset or wide pirate belt. Really feel everything cinching in. So you're strong in the legs, strong in the core. And then maybe you can play around with lifting and lowering a hand. Maybe they can both come up. Maybe they can lift. Maybe not. Okay. All right. And let that go. Same leg working. Left leg stands on the ground, a little bit away from your chair. Hip is down, knee is down. This is an open leg. We want it squared off. Flex the back foot and lift. Doesn't matter how high, it's all about the standing leg. Warrior two. So if you've practiced Warrior two before, maybe you can bring the hands into the heart. Keep dropping that right hip down. Keep breathing. And then set the foot down. And pick up your chair. This is the strength part of the class, moving our chair. And then we'll find ourselves standing on our right leg. Left sole of the foot in or on a block or above the knee. Make sure you're not sinking into that hip, but rather standing tall, foot into leg, leg into foot, pelvic floor lifted, cinching in of that waist. Maybe you've got two hands up. Maybe you can raise the hands. Your breathing is smooth face your chair. Extend your left leg long behind you. And then flex that foot, and as you bring the chest forward, but keep it lifted, drop that left hip down. Warrior 3. And set that down. And bring your chair around to center. Shake your feet a little bit out. And take a seat. So have your blocks or your pillows for a seated pigeon. Seated pigeon, you'd lift the right leg up, cross it over the left, ankle is on the outside. This is the most challenging version. The most gentlest version would be to have a block up against your ankle and then scooting it forward a bit. Just have the hip. It's we're stretching through the piriformis muscle. It's good for sciatica relief here. So you just want to be able to open this up a little bit. Your bent knee, bent leg. You can lift it up a little bit more. Would be the higher you get, the harder it gets. So you can play around. You can freeze this video and see what works best for you. But if you can, take it up and over, take it up and over. If this seems no problem for you, you can put it up on a block. That makes it more challenging. And even more challenging is with nice lift through the spine, you come forward. I really feel that here. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter if you're at the first level. If that's where you feel it, that's right where you need to be. You don't need to be like this if you feel a lot of tension on a lower level. And then we'll switch it out. So whatever you did on that last side, do the same. So if you were on the lowest level, you would be here now. Maybe you had it a little bit higher. Maybe you were in the full pose on a block. Flex a foot, maybe you were coming forward. It's a lot of maybes. There's no prizes if you can do the full pose. Okay, and then lift it up. And then I'm going to turn sideways so you can, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. Take your hands behind you, either holding here, or maybe you can even hold back here. If you can hold back here, squeeze the shoulder blades together, or even if you're on the side, just a little bit easier if you're back here. And then lift as if someone has their hands on your shoulder blades. So somebody is lifting the back of your heart. And then take the chin slightly up. Do not drop the head back though. So it's a tiny, tiny back bend. Take a breath. And then exhale, start to come forward with a flat back. Little core work here. Inhale, come up. So think about your core. Lift and pull in. Exhale. And inhale. And one more time, exhale. You'll know if you're working your core. And inhale. Take the hands behind you again. Lift through the heart. Squeeze the shoulders together. And then take your feet wide. And you're right here if it is safest for you with a flat back, or you can round it all the way over. And then gently roll it up one vertebra at a time. Or if you're with a flat back, just come up. Take a big inhale and a big exhale. And find your blanket and find a pillow. And you will wrap the blanket around yourself. You'll work your way back so that you're resting up against the back of the chair. Extend your legs. They can be long. You can have them crossed. Pull the blanket tight. Close your eyes. Take a breath in through the nose. And an exhale out. And just begin to soften through the body, relaxing, releasing, letting go, noticing any tension. See if you can send it away with a breath. And stay here for as long as you want. Thank you so much for coming. Namaste.